So today we're taking notes on how do we solve for perimeter and area word problems. So go ahead and put your title at the top of your paper. How do we solve for perimeter and area word problems? You're going to see some word problems today. I'll tell you exactly what you need to write down, and we'll kind of just go from there. So pause if you need to. If not, let's get going. So do not write this down, just look. Okay, this is a review of what is area and what is perimeter. So in this review, if we're doing area, and this is a rectangle, hopefully we can all agree on that. Area of a rectangle, you don't have to write this down, is base times height, or length times width. So if I was doing the area, I would just multiply. 3 times 11, and my area would be 33. Okay, I just multiply those two things together. That's area. If you did area of a triangle, you would do like base times height divided by 2, or whatever formula it is that you're trying to work with there. Now perimeter is a little different. Perimeter, you have to add up all the sides. So if this is 3, that means this is 3. If this is 11, that means that's 11. And you'd have to add up everything. So I would add up like 11 and 11 is 22. This would be plus 3 would be 25. Plus 3 would be 28. So the perimeter would be 28. So area would be 33. Perimeter would be 28. That's going to help us with what we're actually going to be doing here. So go ahead, and here's what I want you to write down. Put example 1, and put just the question, or like what is the perimeter of the below shape, or you can even just put like perimeter of below shape, however you want to do it, and then draw this. Draw like all of this triangle stuff. Okay? So we're going to start simple. Perimeter. We're going to do 2 examples over perimeter, 2 examples over area. So perimeter is just adding up all the sides, right? Well, this is a triangle, so I'm going to add up all the sides. The thing is, I can't add up 5 minus 6 plus 2 plus 8 plus 3 because they're not all the same. I can only combine what looks alike. Okay, so combine like terms. So that's actually my step 1 when you're doing this, is you need to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine all my letter P's. So here's one, and there's one. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 plus 3 is 10. So this is 10p. Okay, not 10p squared, not 10p cubed, just 10p. There are 10 p's there. And then I have these guys. I have my constants, my numbers by themselves. So this is minus 6, and this is plus 8. So I just need to combine those. So either in your head or in your calculator, what is negative 6 plus 8? Well, it's a positive 2. So we put plus 2. All right? Now here, they don't tell me what the perimeter is. Like, I have no idea. So this would actually just be my answer because I have no idea what it equals. My perimeter would just be that. So I just simplify it. So if they don't tell you what it is, then that's just your perimeter. It's that easy. Okay? However, you're going to see it where they do give you the perimeter, and we have to solve that. So if it's just asking for a perimeter and you have a shape, it's only one step, combine like terms. That's it. Okay? However, in example 2, we're going to see a lot more steps involved. So example 2, that's a huge question. You don't have to write it all down. It says the perimeter of the below shape is 90 feet. So you do need to write down on example 2, put perimeter is 90 feet. That's important. And then just know we're going to figure out what x is, and then we need to find the length and the width. Okay, so we need to find what x is, and then we need to find the length and the width. So here's how we're going to do that first of all. So perimeter is adding up all the sides. So step 1 was to combine like terms, correct? True. However, on this shape, I don't have these sides right here. So I'm going to write them in. If this is 2x plus 1, then this is 2x plus 1. If this is 4x plus 2, then this is 4x plus 2. And then step 1 again is still just combine like terms. CLT, combine like terms. So same thing we did before. So I'm going to add up 4x plus 4x is 8x, plus 2 is 10x, plus 2 is 12x. So I'm going to put 12x here. And then I'm going to combine my constants. This one I'll circle them. So plus 2, or positive 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So I'm going to put a positive 6. And that's where we left off on the last one. But here I can go further because up here it says that the perimeter is 90, which means the perimeter equals 90. So all of this has to equal 90. So if it tells you the perimeter, you can actually write it out as an equation. 2x plus 6 equals 90. And then from there, what we're actually going to do is we're going to solve. And we know how to do this. We've been doing this for a while. So we just solve here. So we subtract 6. We get 12x equals 84. We divide by 12. And 84 divided by 12 is 7. Okay? So x is 7. From there, though, so hang on, let's back up. X is 7. So the first question up here, it says, what is the value of x? Well, there you go. X is 7. It works out perfectly. However, the last question is, what is the length and the width? And by the way, these are not to scale, so I'm just letting you know. I'm going to erase this real quick so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So what that means is they want you to figure out what is this length and what is this width, or vice versa. They're not to scale, by the way. You're going to see that in a second. But basically, if it says x is 7, then I'm going to go over here, and then instead of 2x, I'm going to put 2 times 7 plus 1, right? Because if x is 7, I plug it in. Well, 2 times 7 is 14, and 14 plus 1 is 15. That means this right here is 15. That length, 15 feet, I guess, because our units is feet. So then here, I would do 4 times 7 plus 2. All right? Well, 4 times 7 is 28, and 28 plus 2 is 30. So this side is 30, which is not to scale, obviously, because this is shorter. But if this is 30, and then that says 15. And you could add it. If I added up 30 feet over here plus 30 feet over here, and then 15 feet and 15 feet, I'd get 90 feet. So area, all you do is you combine like terms, and if it gives you what the perimeter, or not area, I'm sorry, perimeter, all you do is you combine like terms, and if it gives you what the perimeter is, you set it equal to it and solve, and then you're done. Okay? So step 3 right here, I guess you could say replace variable, which is what we did. We replaced our variable. Perfect. So let's go to area. So on here, all you need to write is area, this is example 3, area is 26 meters, technically 26 meters squared, and then draw this rectangle. So pause and do that. And then what I know for area of a rectangle is area is length times width. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do this length times this width. How we're going to write that, though, is we're going to do 13 times 3x minus 4. Okay, because side by side means multiplied, and we write it like that. So step 1 is we write the equation. And if you're doing area, it's always going to be distribution. It's going to look like distribution. You can read my handwriting. Okay? And then up here it says the area is 26, which means this equals 26 meters. Okay? And then we just, step 2, same as last time, is we just solve. And we know how to solve this. This is not new. The new one's only step 1. So I distribute my 13. So 13 times 3 is 39 with an x on it there. And then 13 times negative 4 technically would be minus 52. Or negative 52 equals 26. And then we solve. We add 52. So 39x. 26 plus 52 would be 78. And then we just do 78 divided by 39. We get x equals 2. That's awesome. So that's our first thing. What is the value of x? X is 2. Solve that first part. The last part says is what is the width, or basically the missing value. I had some kid go, well, this is the width. Well, yeah, but if I turn it over, maybe that's different. So I know this is 13, so this would be 3 times 2 minus 4, because x is 2. Yet again, it's not to scale, so 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 minus 4 is 2. So this would be 2 meters, technically. We should always use our units, 2 meters. So we solved, and then the third thing again is we replace the variable. So the only thing different about perimeter and area is perimeter, you combine your like terms, all the sides. Area, you just distribute and you solve it. One last example, and we're actually going to change the shape here for this one. So we have a triangle. So same thing, just put area is 537. I don't know the units, so it's just units squared, I guess. What is the value of x? So it's not even asking us to replace on this one, we just have to do the value of x. Now this is different though, because if you remember for a triangle, the formula for area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2. Okay? So, I know I have to do my base times my height. What some of y'all will try to do is this, and then put times 6. Don't do that. Okay? Put your constant, the number that's by itself, first. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So you're going to do 6 times 3 plus 8x. That's base times height. And then divided by 2 equals, and then my area is 537. Now from this spot right here, there's probably 4 different ways I could solve this in a different order. Okay? One way you could do it is right here, since there's nothing else up here, you could just do 6 divided by 2 and get 3, and then distribute your 3. That's one way you could do it. You could distribute 6 here first, and then divide everything by 2. You could do that as well. Or what I'm going to do is I want to get rid of this fraction, because I hate fractions. So the opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. And then this whole thing goes away. Ignore that, and I get 6, 3 plus 8x equals, and then if you do 537, so 537 times 2, you get a big number, which is 1,074. And then from there, I just distribute and solve. So I can't really scroll down a little bit. 6 times 3 is 18. Good. 6 times 8, 48. Equals 74. And then I would subtract my 18. I know. Am I getting down to the end here? 48x equals, and then you do 1074 minus 18, and you get 1056. And then I can't really show you, but you divide it by 48, and I got x equals 22. X equals 22. And I can see that I'm correct, because if I plug in 22 there, if I do 8 times 22, that's 176 plus 3. This whole thing right here is 179. And if you do 179 times 6, so that's base times height, and you divide it by 2, you get 537. So if you did 179 times 6 divided by 2, you would get your area there. Alright, so even if the numbers get high, you're fine there. And then yet again, there's several different ways to solve it. It doesn't have to be just one way. Alright, so that's area and perimeter. Biggest mistake kids make is I'll say area and they'll give me the perimeter, or I'll say perimeter and they give me the area. So just be careful there. But other than that, that's it. And if you have any questions, please just let me know.